What's up, guys? It's JBallsKing022, and today we're gonna be doing some Minecraft, and we're gonna do some bugs, and that's fun because it's always fun to do different exploits and whatnot. And so today we're gonna do one that allows you to literally get any block in survival Minecraft in the game, like literally any block you can think of, you can obtain. This includes things like command blocks and barrier blocks and jigsaw blocks and borders and walls and all the technical stuff. Like, you can get some cool stuff, and you can get other stuff, including bedrock, and just anything you can think of, you can do it. You can do this on any seed. I mean, I guess nothing really matters. None of the settings really matter. I'm going to be demonstrating this in creative because it's just going to be a lot easier to set up and start from the beginning. Alrighty, so this is the first step. So wherever you spawn, you can't necessarily do this glitch in the early game. So it's going to take some time. So what you're going to need to do is find your stronghold, of course, by using your Eyes of Ender. But you're probably not going to. But that's going to take a while for you to find. And once you do that, you're going to want to go to the end. So in order to save time, I'm just going to be quickly building a portal right here. Alrighty, so once you're in the end, you're going to want to head out, and you're going to want to defeat the dragon. You're going to want to go to the dragon. You have to get rid of the dragon, because you must kill the dragon in order to do this. I'm going to do a simple command in order to speed this up. Once you've killed the dragon, you're going to want to look for the end gateway. Alrighty, so what we're basically going to be doing is that we're going to be removing the bedrock on the bottom here, and we're going to be sending blocks such as sand and gravel and concrete powder and whatnot, and we're going to be sending them through the gateway. And this is going to allow us to basically, once we save and exit out, once we send the blocks through and then save and exit, and then head through the gateway, the game confuses the IDs, and the IDs get corrupted, and they basically turn into any block in the game, literally any block. So let me do a little bit of preparation, and I'll be back in a moment. Alrighty, so the materials you will need for this glitch are as follows. You'll need some end crystals, some obsidian, a couple levers, a couple slime blocks, a couple sticky pistons, and you'll need lots of spare blocks. Hopefully, maybe not like an inventory full, but you're gonna need a few. The first step to remove the bedrock is to put a block right here and to put a piston up here like so. Put 2 slime blocks facing downwards and put a lever right here. Next, you're gonna want to take an obsidian, place down the end crystal, break the end crystal, place down a block that is movable, and you're just going to want to retract the piston, break the slime block, retract this slime block, and then break these. Then I recommend just placing a couple blocks right here because it makes the process easier. And then you're going to want to put a sticky piston facing this direction, right here, like so. Basically, what we're going to do is that this end crystal is going to warp on top of the piston. Because it's in a block, and for some reason, it just gets pulled back, and I have no clue why. And sometimes it works, depending, I found this glitch to be very inconsistent and heavily directional based on which direction you build it. It's that if you find that you build it in a direction and it doesn't work, then just rotate it. First, rotate it 180 degrees, so I build it facing this way first, and if it doesn't work that way, rotate it 90 degrees this way, so you're going this way. So I'm going to try it this way first, and let's hope this works. Oh, look, I got it to work. Yes, let's go. Alrighty, so usually, it's also found it to be it's also a timing thing. So usually I get it whenever the end crystal is usually downwards, and sometimes you have to retract and extend it a couple times, and that's why it's helpful to have a couple blocks right here, because it prevents the end crystal from getting pushed out if you don't get it the first time. Alrighty, so what you can do is you can break this, and we're just going to repeat the same exact thing, because once you find the right direction and timing to do it, you can just repeat the same exact thing except for one block upwards, because we're going to get rid of that second block right there. We can just repeat the same exact steps as laid out before. Might want to just place a couple extra blocks in there, and look at that. And you're gonna hear the sounds because the end crystal is gonna try going through, but it can't. And so basically, once you break these two pieces of bedrock, that's practically the whole bug. Like, this is basically unlocks you to do the whole bug. Alrighty, so once you've broken the two pieces of bedrock underneath here, what you're gonna want to do is that you're gonna want to go directly beneath it and place down a slime block, like right here. And you're just gonna have an observer up here, and you're just gonna want a line of redstone leading into the piston. And let's test this. Okay. And then the next thing you're gonna want to grab is some kind of falling block, like sand, for example. And what you're gonna want to test is see if the sand gets launched upwards. If it doesn't, then what you're gonna want to do is that you're gonna want to bring the observer down and try it again. Alrighty, and if that that purple beam comes out, that means the entity was sent through. Alrighty, and so what you can do is that once you have built this contraption, removed the bedrock, and tested to make sure it works, what you're going to want to do is that you're going to want to save and exit. Now, this is where the actual glitch occurs. What you're going to want to do is that you're just going to want to grab a wide variety of falling blocks, such as the different colors of concrete powder. I'm just going to grab 9 different colors. But you can choose any different, you can use as many different falling blocks as you'd like. But the reason why we have to use different falling blocks is, I'll explain in a moment. So what you're going to want to do is that you're going to want to take one of your falling blocks and send them through one at a time. One of each color of concrete powder, maybe throwing some sand, both sands, add some gravel. Maybe the different types of falling anvils count as separate blocks as well. And so once you do that, you're just going to want to save and exit. And then once you've saved and exit, you can repeat the process again and save and exit again. And you can keep sending in more different types of blocks, as many as you'd like. It doesn't really matter. And then what you're going to want to do is that you're going to want to go through the end gateway. And once you do that, you're going to see a bunch of blocks appear on the ground. And you're going to see a bunch of blocks appear on the ground. You can kind of tell what happens. Every time we send in, if we send in a sand block, right, we're gonna get out some random item. For example, if we input a sand, we might get out a fence. And then if we save and exit, if we input another sand, we might get a different block. Like, we might, for example, get like soul sand. So every time we put in a block and put in a sand and then save and exit, we'll get a different block. But for example, if all you did was put in a bunch of sand all at the same time without save and exiting, you're just gonna get a bunch of fence gates, and that's pretty boring if you ask me. And what is true of this sand block is true of every other sand block. So if we put in a bunch of sand and put in a bunch of red sand, we're just going to get 2 different types of blocks. However, if we put in sand and then put in some sand and red sand, and then save, and then put in some sand and some redstone, save. We could get up to 4 different types of blocks now. So as long as, so this is, it's kind of weird why this happens. And so that's the bug. And if you enjoyed, smash like and subscribe, because I plan to do stuff like this in the future.